Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd. Today, we're going to fuck around and find out another tragic moment in USA history. So, we're going to dive right in and we're going to define what a cult is. Cults are defined as high control groups or totalist systems characterized by a rigid hierarchy, isolation from the outside world, and use of coercive persuasion to control members' behavior, information, thoughts, and emotions. The BITE model, BITE. Unlike traditional religions, which offer moral guidelines, cults enforce strict authoritarian structures where groups' ideology is exclusive and dissent is punished, often leading to the exploitation of members. Cult leaders are charismatic authoritarian figures who demand absolute loyalty and position themselves as the sole source of truth or divine authority. They typically exhibit traits of psychopathy or narcissism, using manipulation, fear, and secrecy to maintain power, while isolating followers from family and critical thinking to ensure uncritical obedience and emotional dependency. Most people don't realize they're in a cult because they're in denial, or their beliefs have changed to the point where they don't believe in the system anymore and they want to believe in something else, that something else is better. The issue is we have too many unpatriotic gurus out here who are leading people astray every day, taking your time, your money, and your energy. Three things that you can't get back once you've expended them. It's a tragic state of affairs across the United States of America. Let me, God, didn't pull this up, so let me go grab that. Right here, this is in my email, Fearless Floyd Show. Muslims organizing nationwide to win elections. Wake up, America. Adam Hamouis, terror ties exposed. This is from June 5th. I have not watched this.
Hello, this is Brigitte Gabrielle. Adam Hammawi won the primary in New Jersey, and he is almost guaranteed to get into Congress in November and join Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib. The Islamic voting machine is moving at full speed while Americans are asleep. And buckle up for the rap sheet I'm going to share on this guy, because you need to hear it, all of it, all the way to the end. Adam Hammawi traveled with the blind Sheikh Abdurrahman, the mastermind of the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. He testified in his defense at the largest terrorism trial in American history and volunteered with an organization the U.S. Treasury Department and the 9/11 Commission identified as part of Osama bin Laden's network. Hammawi met the blind Sheikh in 1991. He visited him at his home and accompanied him on a 13-hour trip to a conference in Detroit where they shared a hotel room together. The conference in Detroit was basically a jihadist fest, bringing terror group leaders from around the world. The blind Sheikh's speech focused on waging jihad as an obligation and conquering the land of the infidels. In 1995, he and 9 followers were convicted of conspiring to wage a war of urban terrorism against the United States. Hammawi served as Abdurrahman's translator at a 1993 press conference in which the cleric denied involvement in the World Trade Center bombing. Abdurrahman was a preacher at mosques in Brooklyn and New Jersey. His sermons condemned Americans as descendants of apes and pigs. He issued a fatwa saying it is lawful to kill Jews. The FBI recorded him stating that acts of violence against civilian targets in the United States were not illicit. The Sheikh forged an alliance with Osama bin Laden and Ayman al-Zawahiri. The fatwa he smuggled out of prison, calling on Muslims to destroy American, Jewish, and Christian economies, burn corporations, sink ships, and shoot down planes, was later credited by Osama bin Laden, the theological justification for the September 11th attacks. Abdurrahman called America, quote, "This is an infidel country. It has an infidel White House. It has an infidel Congress. It has an infidel Pentagon." Hamawi traveled to Bosnia in the summer of 1994 and volunteered with the Benevolence International Foundation, BIF. According to the FBI, BIF operated in tandem with Al Qaeda across multiple nations, providing logistical support. And bin Laden used it in the early 1990s to transfer money to bank accounts held by purported relief organizations in countries where Al Qaeda members were conducting operations. The 9/11 Commission said BIF's Bosnia base impressively, covertly provided financial and other support for terrorist activities established by bin Laden. Zenica, where Hamawi worked, was where the Bosnian army had recently established its Al-Mujahideen unit for foreign fighters. Al-Qaeda's goal in Bosnia was to establish a base for operations in Europe against the United States. And if that's not enough, CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations, also endorsed him, alongside the New Jersey Muslim Council and the Christian and American for Justice in Palestine's New Jersey chapter. CARE is an unindicted co-conspirator in the 2007 Holy Land Foundation terrorism financing trial because of its relationship with the terrorist organization Hamas. Despite this record, Hamawi won Tuesday's primary in an area Democrats comfortably control, almost guaranteeing his path to Congress. America, we cannot let this happen. Join us. Start a chapter. Become a member. Go to actforamerica.org right now and support us as we fight this Islamic takeover of our country. Go to actforamerica.org right now and join us. Thank you.
Or not, and I think you did. Right? It's time, okay? What is that? Say it. Say it.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we have these things called state national assemblies. Some of them you may be familiar with, and we'll just read what AI had to tell us about them. Some sovereign citizen or fringe groups use the term state general assemblies or American state assemblies to describe purported alternative state governments. But these entities lack legal recognition and have no authority to enact laws or charter states under U.S. constitutional law. So let's dive into a couple of these knuckleheads and see them over here playing around year after year after year after year after year after year, wasting your time, money, and energy going nowhere, using a flag symbology that totally represents, that was stolen from a revenue cutter that collects tariffs in the ports of the United States of America. Yeah, all right. These people are, cooking with fire and gas. They're not cooking with logic and reason. So you can sit here and click on all this bullshit, part of it's true because it's history. Anybody can do that. But, here's your number one culprit right here, Anna Von Reitz. She's nothing but a con woman, a cult leader. Nobody wants to pay attention. Nobody wants to listen. But I promise you, in about 6 months, I will be back doing my annual review, and I will laugh at every one of you again who just wasted another year of your life going nowhere. And when you finally do wake up and snap and you do challenge the authoritarian figure of your assembly or Anavan rights per se, you will be ostracized and outcast and kicked out of the group. And then they'll talk about you and try to shame you and embarrass you. But that's not what this is all about. And we can go down, and there's more and more and more of these idiotic assemblies, internal assemblies. I can show you some of these clowns over here on Facebook that refuse to listen, still flying the revenue cutter flag in their background or on their Facebook page or on whatever. American state nationals, ASNs, are individuals who claim a specific legal status distinct from U.S. citizenship, asserting they are sovereign individuals subject only to common law state jurisdiction rather than federal authority. This concept is widely recognized by legal experts, law enforcement, and government agencies as pseudo-legal theory with no basis in U.S. law, and adherents are often categorized within the sovereign citizen movement. The legal reality. U.S. federal law does not recognize American state national as a valid legal status separate from U.S. citizenship or non-citizen nationality, which applies only to those American Samoa and Swains Island. All U.S. citizens are also U.S. nationals. I've said this before. I've done videos on that. And there is no legal mechanism to renounce federal citizenship to become an American state national. Core beliefs. Adherents believe that by filing specific documents, they can exempt themselves from federal taxes, traffic laws, and court jurisdictions, claiming, quote, limited diplomatic immunity, close quote, and, quoting again, do not detain, close quote status. These claims are baseless. Presenting ASN documents to police does not grant immunity from arrest or prosecution. Risks and consequences. Engaging in ASN, American State National ideology, often leads to serious legal trouble. High-profile incidents, such as the fatal shooting of Chase Allen in Utah in 2023, highlight the dangers of refusing to comply with law enforcement based on these false beliefs. Courts consistently reject ASN arguments, and individuals attempting to use them may face increased penalty or charges for obstruction. And I can go on and on and on. If you'd like to know what the police think about you, that would be law enforcement. This is what they think. American State Nationals, the newest group of sovereign citizens. This was published by Dr. Christine Sarteshi. You're more than welcome to go read it. I have invited her on my show multiple times because she is a legal expert testifying in multiple cases nationwide. She cannot come on the show. So you're more than welcome to read all this right here. And it's going to describe, David Lester Strait and his shenanigans, Anavan rights and their shenanigans. And you're going to find out. And I've done multiple videos on all of this stuff. So meanwhile, while everybody is over here playing around, trying to be a government that doesn't exist, has no jurisdiction, no authority, no law enforcement, no jails, no prison, no army, no military, no nothing, but a bunch of play people, play acting, week after week after week. I just saw these guys over on Facebook. They're going to explain everybody jurisdiction. Really? Well, there's only one jurisdiction. It's only one jurisdiction the system recognizes. And if you're outside that jurisdiction, you're either outside the matrix or you're an outlaw. So you guys can choose to be who you want to associate with, but I'm going to tell you now, once the surveillance state and AI takes over, you will be one of the first ones to be rounded up as a domestic terrorist. If you don't believe me, do your own research. I've been telling you folks time after time after time. Anavan rights pontificates that you should rescind your voting rights, that you don't need to vote. Well, let me tell you folks, while you're doing all that, These immigrants, these foreigners are coming into your community. They're running for elected office and they're winning and they're taking over. And before you know it, you're going to be controlled by some other culture that you have nothing associated with. Your children aren't going to recognize it. They're not going to understand it. You may even be speaking a foreign language before you know it. This is why I say the patriots are all stuck on stupid, every freaking one of them. Even the social media gurus that, get 1 million views and tens of thousands of views and subscribers. They're stuck on stupid. They don't get it. They think they're going to make some change within the political parties. Well, let me explain to you. The political parties are the system. If you don't believe me, just go back and look at the history for the presidential debates. It used to be, I believe, controlled by the League of Women Voters or a women's group, if I don't remember correctly. And then two parties took that away from them, and they control everything now. They work in concert, even though they say, oh, we hate each other, we don't disagree, we have so many different views, and blah, blah this, blah, blah that. You better turn your life around, folks. You better get out of the cults. You better find reliable, sound, honorable, trustworthy people and get them to start running for office. You need to register. You need to go vote. You need to get involved. Otherwise, you're going to get run over by a group of immigrants that you don't know, don't recognize, and probably don't want to live their lifestyle. But yet, there it is. That's all you get, because that's what you asked for. So you can stay over in your cult. You can continue to listen to these people like Anna von Reitz, who are going to take you nowhere and nowhere fast. It's going to drag out and on, and she's going to tell you more lies. Oh, yeah, I'm talking to Trump. No, she's not talking to Trump. I'm talking to the Pope. No, she's not talking to the Pope. All that's bullshit lies. All these gurus are lying to you, okay? So just from now on, just like to go, you know what? They're probably lying to me. Let me go do my own research and vet that, make sure that that's truth or a lie. And you're going to find out that you're being lied to. But you want it so bad, you're willing to overlook every red flag that stumbles in your way. And you just walk right by it in denial because you want this so bad. You want to become a republic so bad. Well, if you want a republic, pick up a firearm and take it back, because it was taken from you and you're not getting it back. Not with the current path that you're on. So you guys wake up. I'll see you in 6 months, and I'll do another annual review on all these knuckleheads who just wasted another year of their time, money, and energy going nowhere and aren't going to go anywhere. And I'm going to tell you, I'll be back a year from then telling you the same damn thing like I do every year in December. But nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to share the videos. Nobody wants to subscribe. And hey, that's fine. You know what? The Holy Bible tells you flat out that the ignorant shall perish for lack of knowledge. And there you go. Educate yourself. Get ready for the future, because it's bleak. You're already a wage slave. You continue to be a wage slave. Everybody in America is a wage slave. You have to pay taxes to live. You have fines, fees, and penalties. You get taxed on everything. That's the system. Meanwhile, you're over here playing around trying to set up a government that you'll never, ever, ever establish. Thank you for watching the video. Silver is way down. If you guys want a trust book, I still will trade an ounce of silver for a on trust or specialty trust book. Just go to the fearlessfloydshow.com website, pick you out a book, and we'll get you taken care of. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'll see you when I see you. Y'all have a great day. And I'm out.